Welcome,
Hey
everyone.
guys, how you guys doing?
Hope
You
everyone's doing
should
well.
be
Thanks
able
for
to
sharing.
see our faces and us as usual.
If you could just let us know if you can hear us and see us in the chat, so we don't just sit here talking to our laptops.
Yeah. All right, guys. Today we are going to learn a lot of stuff. I hope you're ready. I hope you're excited. I can't wait. I have so many things I want to share with you guys. So yeah, I think everybody says that he can see us. So I'm just gonna jump right in and start the presentation. Are you ready for
Yeah,
that?
sounds great.
All right.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna share my screen.
That was not the right button.
All right, guys. So
There we go.
today, as you all know, we're going to learn how to become a world-class digital painter in under 12 months, and it's totally doable, guys. I can tell you. So you're in the right place, by the way. If you have beautiful vision of paintings in your head, but you struggle getting them down on canvas sometimes, Fabian, can you cut your mic, please? Have a busy schedule and find it difficult to make the time to practice. You start dozens of painting, but you find it really hard to finish any. Does that happen to you? You start paintings, but you never finish them. I want to make a living from digital painting, but you're not quite sure how to get there and are frustrated by your slow progress and often feel overwhelmed because there's so much to learn about digital painting. If any of those sounds familiar to you, you're in the right place, guys. I'm going to present myself. I'm David Beliveau. I'm a self-taught illustrator and digital painter. I worked 11 years as a graphic designer before spending 5 years learning digital painting. And I represent what we would call of paintable wisdom and experience. And Fabian, if you want to open your mic now and present yourself.
Yes. So welcome, everyone. My name is Fabian. I'm a studied illustrator and graphic designer, and I'm part two of Paintable, I guess. So I take care of everything behind the scenes. I help out, trying to get the tech to run smoothly. So if this totally fails, I'm the guy to yell at, I guess. And so David's like the creative genius that makes our lessons. I like to think of myself as representing, the youthful energy. But I just snuck that in just before. So if you have any questions during the workshop, feel free to. I'll be watching the chat, and if anything urgent comes up, I'll ask David. Otherwise, we'll keep it for the Q&A. But yeah, just put them in the chat if you have any questions. So yeah.
All right. And the two together, we are the joint creator of Paintable.cc, as you may already know. So here's what you're going to learn today by hanging out with us. You're going to learn why your current approach of digital painting is probably causing you a lot of pain and frustration, and a much better approach to take. 3 super useful exercises that will unchain your potential 10 times faster when it comes to learn digital painting, and how to get out of the root when you're feeling stuck and uninspired, and how you can start painting beautiful pieces of art in a matter of months, even weeks sometimes. Here's my big promise to you. By the end of this workshop, you'll have all the tools necessary to become the artist that you want to be. Plus, if you stick with us till the end, I'll make sure to give you the workbook that comes with this presentation. It's a 7-step roadmap. It's a really good book when you want to have a good base to actually learn digital painting. And I'm going to give it to you for free. I'll give it to you also the PDF of this presentation. So just stay with us until the end, and I'm going to give you that for free. Before I continue further, I would like to know a little bit more about you guys. So if you can put that in the chat, tell me which of the following best describe your relationship to digital painting. Is it A, you never heard of it, but you were told that it would have free stuff here? Then in this case, yes, stick around, you'll have free stuff. Is it B, I've seen digital painting online and I wanted to see what is it all about? Is it C, I really enjoy painting, it's one of my favorite hobby? Or is it D, digital painting is my life, I'm ready to become a pro? And while you put that in the chat and let us know who you are, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my own journey into digital painting. You see, years ago, when I first started to understand and see digital painting online, I just fell in love with it right away. And what I did is I bought myself a tablet and I jumped on my computer right away, and I went on to YouTube and on the internet everywhere to find some classes, some speed painting, mostly because there's a lot of speed painting on YouTube. And what I realized after hours and hours of work is that speed painting, they don't teach much. So I was getting really frustrated with the results that I had. But I kept on, working hard and trying to paint. And at some point, I realized that each time that I was doing certain steps, one by one, following them, I was getting much stronger results. And it's those steps today that we're going to talk about, and I'll talk to you about just in a minute. But for now, I just want to talk to you a little bit more about Paintable. See, Paintable, we wanted to help the community and create classes. And the first class that we started to do was the beginner toolbox, been able to reach 4,000 people, a little bit more than that. Then we created the 1 week portrait. I'm guessing that you guys know about it already. You should have received it. We've been able to reach at least 8,000 people with it. And astonishingly, we've been able to reach, to this day, with the Paintable.cc, more than 300,000 people. And we are really impressed and happy with those results. And what I learned since then is that everybody, me included, struggle with the same thing. And that's a loss of motivation, guys. And I'm pretty sure you're going to recognize yourself here. It starts like that. You first get super inspired. You see something online, you're like, wow, this is beautiful. That's what I want to do. And then you start right away. You jump on your computer, you're super excited. You open Photoshop, you take your tablet, you start painting. And what you realize is after a certain time, well, you get disappointed and frustrated because you don't see the results that you want. And what happened most of the time is, have you ever done that? Have you ever done just like scrabbly over your painting and just being frustrated and put it away? Well, yeah, that's usually what's happening. And I was making excuses all the time. I was saying to myself, I'm too old, or I should be spending hours and hours every day if I wanted to get good, or I didn't have enough talent, and that's why people all around me were actually succeeding. Have you ever had those doubts? Well, that's what I realized. At some point, I put everything down, and I start stopping guessing. I just put everything down. I made a list of everything I wanted to know about digital painting, and I realized this. I was trying to push a giant bulldozer of a rock, and here the rock represents digital painting, obviously. And I was trying to push it all at the same time. I tried to learn it all at the same time. And what I realized when I did that list is that I was trying to actually break that down into pieces. And when I did it, I realized that each pieces that represent, obviously, each part of digital painting that you have to learn, once I tried to do it one by one and put them to the finish line, I was having much stronger result and learning way faster. So over the years, I've tweaked it and perfected the system. I took everything I learned from my years of struggling, and I combined it with everything I learned from teaching thousands of students. And here's the secret, guys. This is the big thing. You need to know the difference between passive learning and active learning. Passive learning is this. It's what most people do, all right? It's you get an idea, you fire up Photoshop, and you start painting right away. You watch the occasional speed painting online to learn random tricks and techniques. You learn bit by bit with each painting without really often realizing it that you're actually learning. Passive learning is okay, guys. It's important to spend time just painting. Every time you paint, you're improving bit by bit. But here's the problem with it. It's really, really slow. It took me years for me, and it takes, like I said, it takes years, and you don't get really good this way. It's too slow of a progress. You'll rarely finish anything, which will demotivate you 100% sure, and can be really difficult to see improvement and get the feeling of accomplishment, which is really, really important when you're actually learning a skill. Actively getting really good at any specific thing that way. So you need to get out of this. What you need is to start to do active learning. See, active learning is what you need to do to supercharge your learning, to go super fast. And I'm going to teach it to you right now. Active learning is using a roadmap, a game plan. It's breaking everything down into chunks, into smaller bites so you can learn faster. It's working backwards to fit those chunks into the time available. Everybody has different lives. Maybe you're a full-time student. Maybe you work full-time. It's using specific exercises that will unchain your potential faster. It's rather than trying to learn everything at once, like I was doing, trying to push that big rock, it's breaking down everything into chunks, into smaller pieces, and learning those one by one. And when you do that, you're going to realize that you learn way faster. So, do you want to supercharge your practice with active learning today? Well, I'm going to teach you exactly that today. I'm going to teach you the ultimate formula to master digital painting in 7 steps. And those are the 7 steps that I used to get where I am today. So I'm going to jump right in now. The first step is you need to set yourself a destination. See, a good destination is like a compass. It will help you guide everything you do and give you much stronger results. Now, I'm going to give you a bad example of a destination. Learn digital painting. Now, you may go, what? Yeah, learn digital painting is just way too broad. It's too wide. It's too big. You need to go a little bit more specific if you want to see good results. So a better destination would be something like learn digital portraiture, or learn environmental painting, or move from traditional to digital painting. See, and a perfect destination would be even more closer and even more precise than that. Learn enough about digital painting to feel comfortable holding a workshop teaching in your city. That was one of my destinations, which I reached a few years ago. Get a portrait painted and feature on the cover of Imagine Effects. That's one of the destination that I would like to actually realize. And paint a current series of 20 futuristic landscapes so good I can use them to apply for a job as a concept artist. And that's a really good destination to have. Make sure your destination is specific and measurable. The more precise, the better. So that's a step 1. You can have more than one destination, guys, by the way, but always focus on just one destination at a time. That way, you're going to see much faster results. It's okay if you don't have a clear vision yet, by the way. It's not everybody that knows your destination right away. Here's a good trick for you if you don't know what to do yet. Take the 3 all-time top inspiring digital painting that you absolutely love, all right? Take them, study them, and ask yourself what makes you go wow into them. And from there, just try to analyze them and make sure that you understand it and use this as your destination. If you're excited, that's good. So work towards that. That's going to become your destination. Step 2, once you have your destination, you have to set yourself specific goals, all right? So once you know those goals, you can divide them into sub-goals. The idea here is to make those chunks, those little bites that you'll be able to learn faster, all right? So I'm going to give you an example. By the way, they don't need to be specific. I know that can be really hard part. You probably don't know exactly what to do with your sub-goals. The point is just to get a good idea of the thing you'll need to be learning so you can start focusing on your studies. So, like I said, one of my destinations personally is to get a portrait painted feature on the cover of Imagine Effects. And so here's an example of how I would do it, how I would break it down. I would need to have some goals and to have some goals, sub-goals from there. So the first goal I would be learning facial anatomy, obviously, understand hair, learn to paint skin texture, and learn how to add dramatic lighting, let's say. So that's 4. I could have 10. I could have 20 if I wanted to. But I'm giving you 4. The first one, I need to now subdivide it into sub-goals. So obviously, to learn facial anatomy, Andrew Loomis gives a really great technique. So that would be my first step. I would learn the Andrew Loomis technique. Then I could learn the anatomy of the eye, the nose, the lips, and go on and go on. Understanding the hair, I would do the same thing, break it down, understand visual property of the hair, paint detail, look of hair, and I would go like this for each of them, break them down so I have smaller bites, smaller sub-goals that I can reach faster, and that's how you're going to see amazing results.
Hey, by the way,
Step
just
3.
to quickly jump in to everyone panicking that they couldn't see that fast enough in time. All of that will be in the that's in the workbook that we're handing out. You can get those exact like tables and everything. So take notes if you want, but don't worry if this is going a bit too fast. You can revise it afterwards, and you'll get all the slides.
So. Yeah, I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't want you to panic. Yeah, like I said at the beginning, I'm going to give you that presentation for free, the PDF. So everything that I'm presenting to you, just if it goes too fast, don't worry. There's a lot of stuff, but I'm going to give you the PDF after that so you can take your time to read it all bit by bit. But for now, I'm just going to continue and present the rest. Step 3, you have to set yourself a timeline. So a timeline will help you to get accountable and focused by adding a sense of urgency on what you want to learn. So just as an example here, I had my goals, I got my sub goals, and I'm going to have some sort of a timeline to tell myself, all right, I need to finish that in that much time. This is really up to you. You know yourself better, but it's a really good thing because at some point you'll get on the market if you want to be a professional, and you'll have to gauge the time that you do stuff. So it's a really good idea to actually start it now and get to learn how you are fast about stuff. So I put myself here examples, learn facial anatomy, maybe 8 weeks, then understanding hair 6, then 2, 8 weeks. That is really up to you, and you'll get to know yourself while doing this. So it's a really good exercise. Remember that if you don't complete a sub-goal on time, it doesn't mean you have failed. There's no such thing as failure when you learn. It does mean you need to revise your timeline and just get back on track. As simple as that. Step 4, do the work. At some point, you're going to have to put your pencil down and start to actually drawing, right? So here's a really good trick, especially for beginners, all right? Keep your tablet plugged in, all right? Instead of keeping your tablet tucked away in a drawer, keep it right in front of you, right in front of the computer at all time. Replace your mouse with your tablet and use it for everything. That way, you're going to get much better with your tablet way faster. And you have to remove distraction when you start working. You need to set yourself an environment for success, especially when you're the first getting started and everything is still really incredibly frustrating. Make sure to stay focused by closing the TV, turning it off, closing everything internet browsers. So just make sure that you don't get distracted with Facebooks and stuff. Turn off the notification on your phone as well. If you want to learn, just set yourself some time, and this is like special. You don't want to get any distraction. Then you'll have your goal, your sub-goal like we were talking, and you'll have to find yourself some exercises to be able to reach them. And today, I want to show you 3 exercises. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump right into Photoshop, and I'm going to show you those 3 exercises. So let's go to Photoshop here. I got it set up. So the first exercise is a very good one, very simple one, but very, very powerful, all right? It's what I call imagining the form geometrically. Basically, it's this. So I'm going to give you an example. Here I have a bottle of Coca-Cola, and we'll all agree that this bottle is full of curves, right? So what happened when I look at this, it's really hard for me to get the measurement when it curves. It's easier when you have sharp angles. So what I'm doing when I look at something like that, I imagine it geometrically. Basically, to give you an example, I do this. All those shapes can be simplified by straight lines, and that's how I look at it. That way, it's way easier for me to render it. So for example, if I were to take the top part, it's easier for me in my head to actually try to render this. And even once you have this, you can imagine all the details on that bottle to be just smaller geometric form that goes on top of it. Let's say like this. And to give you an example, I would have a lot of them all around it, obviously, because it's like rounded all over. And then I could just create a new one. So I'm just going to give you a quick example. Create a new shape like this. Make the selection. Create a new layer. I'm going to take the soft round brush here. And then I could just render it with more ease than just trying to make always curves. And that's just, like I said, this is a way to look at stuff. So you can look at everything around you right now and realize that you can simplify everything by just having straight shapes. And that's going to help you a lot when it comes to measuring and to do observation drawings. So that was the first one. It's a very quick one, but I really like it. The second one, which I absolutely love, and I'm just going to put that down, is analytic comparison. And for that, you're going to need to have some references. So I have already prepared myself some references right here. So analytic comparison is this work with your memory. All right, so this is an exercise to work to remember stuff. When you learn from references, it's absolutely great. Everybody does it. It's a must-do, I think, for an artist to learn from references. You cannot know something without studying it, right? So what you do is you get yourself some references, you get your sheet to practice. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do some portraits, some side view portrait. And that's another great trick that I can give you guys. I see a lot of people practicing, they're doing portrait, and what they do, they're trying like front view, and then they're trying side view, and then trying 3/4 view. try to focus on just one side at a time. That way you're going to reach it way faster. You're going to master it way faster. So in this case, I decided to just give an example on the side view. So what I would do with this exercise, I would first start by masking my reference and just do one by heart. So I would be, all right, I would start with my circle. Usually it's the hardest part. And then I would just do, all right, so from references that I know in my head, I would go around like this. I would have an ear around here. Then my eye would get around here. Then would have my nose, lips, jaw. So obviously, I want this one to look a little bit more bad because I want to show you how this is going to work. So you have something that is from your head right now. You didn't use a reference yet, so you didn't know how it was looking. So it's okay if it's look all bad. Now is the part where it's going to start fun. So what you do is you look at your references. In this case, I'm going to take one. I'm going to take this guy. And all right, from here, what I do is like, all right, you compare it. So I'm like, all right, so the jaw is definitely too small here. The ear is too big. You should have more space at the back of the head. So, all right, so I'm going to try to remember all that. And I'm going to close my reference again, and I'm going to go back to my sheet and do it again. So start with a circle, obviously. Then I know my jaw needed to be a bit bigger. I'm going to go back with the back of the head. I think the back of the head needs to start right here. And then I got my neck. I got my eye. That should be around here. So I'm just going to place my eye. Then I would have my eyebrow. Zoom in a tiny bit. Then I would have my nose. I can clean the line with my eraser just to see what I'm doing a little bit better. And then I would have my lips. Just like that. All right, that's already better. I'm going to put my ear. Erase that part here. We can redo the circle, which was total fail here. And I'm going to remove a little bit of this. Basically, I'm trying to remember everything that I saw. And what it's going to do, that exercise, is basically I'm going to go back to it now. And I'll be, all right, so what's different this time? All right, the nose should be a little bit more proeminent. I think that the back of the head should be a little bit more lower. All right, so I'm going to take those, going back here, and do it again. And I'm going to do it as long as I need to master it.
So the idea is just not to blindly copy the reference pixel for pixel, I guess, right?
It's exactly that.
So you're actually using your mind to like make these connections on a deeper level, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's just because when you use a reference, basically what you're doing is you're copying, right? But it's important to copy at first to get to know what you're doing. But the problem is most of people, they don't actively, and that's really the word, they're passively using the reference. And what you want to do is really work actively. So you have to remember stuff. You have to use your memory to make sure that next time what you don't have, because the goal is always to, at some point in your life, to not need a reference and being able to actually draw it from memory, is to be able to do so. So to be able to do so, you'll have to put those images in your head. And for that, you'll have to train your memory. It's as simple as that. So I'm just going to real quick finish this. I think the forehead was just a little bit more like this maybe. But you guys get the picture here. So right now I was all crooked. Then it got better. It gets better again. And it's going to get better and better and better as long as you keep on doing it. So that's what I was calling the analytic comparison exercise. And I really like this one. It's a really fun one to do. It doesn't take much time, and it gives you a really strong result when it comes to draw from your imagination. At some point, you'll have all those images in your head. The third one, which is a great one too, it's the focused repetitive thumbnailing. This one, you need to have a reference also. And what you want to do is you want to paint only the values with this one. And you want to do a thumbnail. So you don't want to go into much details, right? You just want to go into the values. You want to study the values. I strongly recommend to have a black and white picture for this one, especially at the beginning, because if you go with the color ones, it's just going to be too difficult. So start with a black and white. And what you have to do is start one and give yourself a time limit. Each time that I did that exercise, I give myself less time that I actually really want it, really need it more. So give yourself enough time so you don't get frustrated. Give yourself a good 15 minutes for the first one, and then you can go down 10 and then 5 and see the results getting better and better. Basically, what you want to do is really start with a basic value. So I'm going to take with the basic value, and usually what I do is I start with my geometric shapes first. So I'm just analyzing where the nose is hitting the side and then where the chin is hitting the side. I'm just going with lines. I'm not trying to draw what's inside the shape. I'm just trying to draw the outside shape, basically. So when I start, it's like this. Then I can use this right here as a reference. Goes right there. Half, boom. Get back the back of the head. All right. Once I got the basic shape, I can just fill it up. And this one is definitely the more advanced one. Even me, usually like this one, I won't be able to spend 15 minutes on it. So I'll try to do my best with the time I have available because I want to continue the presentation. I have so much more stuff to present you. But obviously, it's one that in your case, you should take your time first. Make sure that you don't get the frustration and just paint the detail. I'm going to switch my brush here. So once you get the basic shape like this one, then you start painting the values. So I see that there's a little bit more dark value into the hair. So I'm just going to start with that right here. Paint the basic hair.
Someone in the chat, Bashar, was asking what brush you're using for this one.
Well, I can go maybe in detail a little bit later. It's a brush. It's one of the brush that I give away on the blog, if people know about the blog. I think it's one of the brushes that I'm using.
Is it in the texture?
Yeah, I think it's in the
brush
texture
post?
one. Yes, absolutely.
If you after this, you can search on our blog for a texture brush. I think you can find it there. But I mean, it's essentially for this, you can use any brush,
You can
really,
use
I guess.
any brush, really. Just use a brush that you're actually familiar with. That way it's going to be less frustrating for you. Because you'll see it is frustrating at some point. Because painting with values is different than painting with outlines. Sometimes you need to really look where you're putting all your values. It's not easy. It's an exercise that it's really challenging, which therefore will make you be a better artist faster. So here you can see I'm just trying to paint the value. I'm not trying to paint the eye. I'm just painting the value that's on top of the eye. And there we go. Here. And here.
We have Kamau asking whether this is Photoshop, saying it doesn't look familiar at all.
It is Photoshop, yeah.
I guess what's throwing people is the coolest wheel on the right.
Yeah, probably. You want to give a word on that?
Yeah, sure. It's just it's a plugin for Photoshop that replaces the color picker, which yeah, I mean you can really vouch for, I guess.
I absolutely love it. I use it for everything now. It's really great for your color. I actually have a blog post on the blog that talks about it in details and show you why is it such a great tool. I absolutely love it. Since I discovered it, I've been using it every day. And I'm pretty sure that if you guys acquire it, you will use it every day. And I'll tell you a little bit more later how you can actually get one as well. Okay. Now we have a small problem, Fabian. I need to reboot my computer because my keyboard is not working. Can you
Oh
entertain for
God.
like a minute?
All right, pressure's on. Pressure's on.
All right, entertain for a
All
minute.
right.
I'm sorry, guys. Since I bought my new tablet, there's a glitch with my keyboard, and basically it switches from something that I can't control, and now I need to reboot the whole system. So uh, yeah, I'll be back in a second. I'm very sorry for that. Give me just 2 minutes.
All right. Well, great. This is my ideal situation. Just being sat here awkwardly in silence. So you guys get to watch me suffer for a few minutes. In the meanwhile, I guess I can tell you a couple of people were asking about the blog. That's our website, paintable.cc. If you go on that, we've got a number of like inspiration posts we release every week. We've been slacking a little bit on that recently. Lots of other things going on at the moment. We've got tutorials, lots of tutorials that you can find through our YouTube also. So including some of them are like the Coolerist one, where where David kind of goes into the specifics of how to use that. And yeah, that's about all I can think of saying. Does anyone have any questions? Can almost hear the crickets. So Sylvia's asking about what the idea behind the free workshop is. So we run both Paintable as well as an academy also, and most of our workshops are within the academy. But every once in a while, we do free ones like this. So yeah. Okay, questions coming in now. Chris asking whether we also use Procreate. I know a couple of people that use Procreate. Procreate. I know it's a great tool, especially with the iPad Pro, which is a pretty amazing piece of hardware. I feel like it might be more intuitive and faster to get into because you can, work directly on a tablet on like an iPad, see what you're doing. But and we both use Photoshop. We're both graphic designers also, so we're used to that. I'm assuming some of you might be too. I know that at least half our students usually seem to be graphic designers. And he's back.
I'm so sorry,
Okay.
guys. I'm so sorry. I need to fix that. I thought I fixed it, but it looks like I didn't fix it. All right, I'm going to go back to the presentation. I'm going to open the documents. I hope you guys like it so far.
Rate my awkwardness. 10 out of 10.
It's crazy. All right, I'm going to open back the presentation, and I'm going to open the exercise again because I actually, guys, I have a final result to show you as well. So I'm going to open the presentation.
So for all the questions, hold on to them. We'll be doing a short Q&A afterwards, so we can answer some of them then.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, where were we?
So
that's what happened when you do live TV.
Your exercises.
Yes, I'm just going to go get that right there. All right, now let's open Photoshop and reopen the exercise. All right, exercise. And I will start my sharing screen and get back at it. All right.
Everyone enjoyed that little break?
Fabian?
All right. You just cut out for a second again.
Okay, can you see my screen?
I can see it now, yeah.
All right, cool. So, all right, guys. So, luckily for me, because I lost everything that I tried, I already put like a little bit more time. What you see right now is the result of me when I put 10 minutes on it. So basically, that's what you want to do. You don't want to go too much in details with this exercise. You just want to learn about the values. That's going to help you a lot when it comes to render form. You'll be able to see all those small values, the small changes of the values and the stuff that you're looking at. That's a very, very strong exercise. So obviously, I think that's a good one. I'm going to jump back to the presentation now and continue with the rest of it. So like I was saying, those are the three exercises that I want to show you today, minus obviously the glitch. That was not part of it. That's just, a bonus that you guys get. You had Fabian entertain you for a few minutes, and from there, we'll just continue. So that was step 4, guys. The 5th step is find a community. A community is really, really important, all right? You have to surround yourself properly. Small question, do you remember the last time that you had a question that you wanted, or last time that you had a conversation with a friend to talk about your art, but they were just not interested? It's not everybody that share your same goals in life, so it's really important to have people that understand what you're doing. It can be super intimidating at first to put yourself out there, but it's key in your learning. Surround yourself with people that share the same goals. Tips: find a community buddy, an accountability buddy, to regularly share your goals and timeline. Obviously, for me, it's Fabian. So each time that I have something I want to accomplish, I talk to Fabian, and he helps me in it. And you have to seek help, all right? You don't know everything. So it's normal to ask for questions. It's normal to put yourself out there and to ask for help. The simple act of sharing your goals publicly will make a huge difference, all right? So much more likely to follow on your goals, on your sub-goals, and it's that way you're going to see results. Sharing every day, every week, every month will help you with your self-confidence as well. And it's going to give you the crucial supports and critique, feedback that you need to go forward. So that's a really important step as well. The step 6 is you have to track your progress. You have been accomplishing a lot of stuff, probably a lot more than you actually think you did. So you need to keep track of it. To help you stay motivated, regularly keep track of your progress and look at it, all right? Make note of the work you've done and the sub-goals you are achieving. When you feel like you're getting nowhere, just get a boost of motivation just by looking at your note and see how much you already achieved. That's really, really important because I'm pretty sure even today, you already achieved a lot. So that's another example here. I got my goals, I got my sub-goals, I got my timeline, and I got my process, and I note what I finished when I finished it. And we go for the 7th step. This is the number 7, and it's a really important one. It's build a habit, guys, all right? This has been proven to be one of the best things that you can do to learn faster. Okay, so just painting it whenever you have time, it's definitely okay. But to seriously improve, you need to build a habit. 30 minutes every day is far better than 5 hours every 7 days. Doesn't have to be every day, though. You can just have a consistent thing, like maybe 1 each 2 days or something like that. Habits for your mind. So you're capable of concentrating on a higher level. So you don't have to think about, I'm going to practice. It's already put in your schedule, and you just do it. Build a habit will allow you to get through the dips and slumps of everyday's life. So here's 3 steps for you to actually start having a habit. You have to first start small. Start by just firing up Photoshop and painting for 5 minutes every day, or something like that for the first week. Then you can go up to 10 minutes every day for the second week, and just go up and up until you reach at least 30 minutes every day. That's really where you're going to start to see really good results. Obviously, you can go to up to 90 minutes if you have the time, but just with 30 minutes every day, you'll have plenty of time to actually see good results. Step 2, you have to plan it into your day. You have to write it down. Physically writing it down and a day calendar is going to make a huge difference. If you don't use a day planner, if you don't have any agenda or something like that, just literally write it down on a piece of paper and put the time as well that you're going to practice the next day. Ideally, you want to practice the similar time every day. It's going to help you. It could be first thing in the morning or right after dinner, whenever you have the time. But having the same time is going to help you to follow on your habit. And then step 3 is reward yourself, all right? If you do some accomplishment, you have to be acknowledging it, all right? So 7 days, maybe you do something that's fun for you. And after 14 days, maybe you buy yourself a treat. And after 30 days, definitely go out. 30 days is a huge, huge accomplishment, and you should be super proud of yourself. Here's a good trick that I've been using myself for learning digital painting. It's called the X effects, and it's gonna sound really funny to you. It's simply having a calendar like this of 30 squares with numbers in it, and each day that you are reaching your goal, you're doing your 5, your 10, or your 30 minutes every day, you put an X in it, all right? And at some point, it's going to become so important for you to put an X on the next square that you're going to just follow up just to be able to finish that sheet. And I'm telling you, it sounds like it's a magic trick, but it works.
It sounds really kind of woo-woo the first time I heard it too. But I don't know, there's something about the psychology of doing it. And you can make it as simple as just using a ruler, pencil on paper. Just make some boxes where we actually put an X effect sheet at the back of the workshop also. So you can use that too.
Yes.
But honestly, it doesn't have to be complicated. It's just that physical act of crossing it out makes a huge difference.
It makes a huge difference. It's really fun. Personally, I had put one, it was on my wall, and I was just literally having a pen just for that sheet, and I was really happy to use it every day. We are what we repeatedly do, that's hard for me to say, repeatedly do every day. Excellency, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. And that's Aristotle that said that, and I really deeply believe in this. So here's where the 7-step, guys. So first step, know your destination. Step 2, set specific goals. Step 3, set a timeline. Step 4, do the work. Step 5, have a community to help you and push you up. Step 6, track your progress. And step 7, build a habit so you see progress go faster. And you have to be in control of your mindset, all right? A lot of people think that to do this properly, they're going to need years and years and think, I'm too busy right now. I'm just going to wait until my life goes back on track and then master digital painting. But here's the thing. There will never be a perfect time to start learning digital painting. Life will always get in the way. The only way you can do it is to grab the bull by the horn and do it now. Do it right now, all right? So here's my promise to you. By practicing smarts and embracing active learning, you won't need years and years to practice to reach your goal. I'm telling you. You can get really good in just a few months, even a few weeks. And you have to remember, this is not just like theory here, right? This is exactly what I did to get where I am today. This is how I learned digital painting. It's exactly the same principle no matter what your destination is. If you want to be a concept artist, illustrator, hobbyist, whatsoever, after years of starting around in dark, this exact roadmap that allowed me to finally see the results that I wanted to. It's not magic, it's a step-by-step that you follow. So I'm not sure why you showed up today, but I hope you're excited. Are you excited? You're super passionate about digital painting. Maybe you want to be as good as your favorite artist one day, or maybe you love to paint and learn, but you feel like you're not making as much progress. Maybe you want to get in a career as a concept artist or character designer, illustrator, similar, but you don't know exactly how to get there. Maybe you're a traditional artist that's trying to make the switch to digital painting. Whatever is the reason why you showed up today, I hope that you will remember this, all right? If you really want to get serious about mastering digital painting, you have to embrace active learning. That's really important. Just painting, watching random speed painting, which don't teach much here and there, is just not enough. You have to set yourself a goal and build yourself a lesson plan and exercises to achieve them. Discovering this did change my life, guys. I went from beginner to pro just by following this. And it saved me years of feeling stuck and frustrated and suddenly seeing the drastic improvement in every painting that I was doing. So basically, it's great because it's a step-by-step. You just have to go from 1 to 7 and you're going to see the results. It's almost magic. So do you see how powerful this is? Can you imagine the difference this could make to your own paintings? So can you apply this to your own paintings? How can I build an active learning practice that will allow me to master digital painting faster? Well, everybody has a choice all the time. You can do it. You can do it the slow method. That's what I would call, all right? And just trial and error and use a little bit of what I showed you today. It's absolutely doable. It takes a lot of time, though. It gets really painful at some point, especially if you're by yourself, you don't have the community around you. And it takes a lot of discipline to follow through on your habit by yourself. Or you can do it smart, and I really want to help you. And that's why I've taken everything that I learned about active learning, chunking, exercises, foundation, and I build the Digital Painting Academy. So the Digital Painting Academy is really it's embracing all the material that I showed you today. It's no more floating around hoping you'll get good one day. We can't do the work for you, obviously, but we can cut years of frustration and waste in time. The process, watch the video, do the exercises, and I'll guide you through all the art stuff step by step. So it's get the exact process to get where you want to be. So broken down step by step into bite chunks so you can focus on the fun stuff, which is painting, without feeling overwhelmed all the time because you don't know everything that you need to learn. It can be frustrated and super stressful at some point. It's exciting exercises as well, so you can put the theory to practice right away. So when you want to do something, you need to practice it. So exercises will be there for you. It's live workshop like this one, but also with the Q&As where you can share your work and get the guidance and feedback on your work. That's really cool. Sources, obviously, there's so many things that change in the industry, new gadgets, new software. So you always get up to date on the cutting edge of the new tools and brushes and software that'll be out there. It's a supportive community, which is one of my favorite parts. So you can connect with like-minded artists, students, and provide feedback, encouragement, and support on your work at all times. And it's the six-step foundation, which is basically for the beginners to intermediate students to learn the fundamentals needed for all area of digital painting, portraiture, concept art, whatever. They all have the same foundation, and that's the six-step foundation. It's there for this. It's all essential, so obviously in one place, because finding the time to practice can be a struggle. So we have to stop wasting our time looking all over the web for tutorials. The Academy will be there all the time, 24/7. It's online with all tutorials, high class, just for you. With all that time saved, basically, what will your painting look like, you think, in a month, or in 6 months from now, or in a year from now? If you don't waste your time looking on the internet, but you get only good results because you have all the classes there for you, you're going to get great results. And I want to show you some examples from my students that I'm really proud of. This is Isaac that gave us this after only 6 weeks. We were astonished to see the results. We were really happy for him. So that's one of the examples that we get from the Academy. Here we have Seb telling that he learned more in 2 months of assignment than in 3 years in his own art school. And I was really happy to hear that from him. So here, is this for you? I would be lying to think that the Digital Painting Academy is for everybody. Obviously, it depends on who you are and what you want to do. But if you're new to digital painting and you want to learn it right, not waste years and a ton of frustration on trial and error, then it's definitely for you. If you don't have much time to practice, you have a job, studies. So when you do have time, you really want to make sure that you're using it effectively as possible. The Academy is going to be there for you. If you've done some digital painting, but you really want to up your game, learn new tricks, new skills, and have the community and support to push you further, definitely for you. And if you even want you to get in a career that involves digital painting and you want to build a really strong foundation, the Digital Painting Academy is going to be there for you. And you may ask yourself, so how much is this going to cost? Well, I'm going to tell you in a minute, all right? So I just want to make a stand here. I want to ask you a question. Art school can be really expensive, right? It can be up to $30,000, and that's a lot of money. But if all this did for you was give you the motivation to finally learn digital painting, would it be worth it? Give you the tools and knowledge to achieve the results that you want into digital painting and create all those beautiful paintings in your head, would it be worth it? To give you a start to work in the industry so you can start making a living from something you're super passionate about. Like it would become your job. Would it be worth it? I know it would be worth it for me. But obviously when I started that, I didn't have $30,000, and I'm not going to ask you $30,000, guys. I'm not even going to ask you $1,000, which will be the price of private tutoring. All I'm going to ask is $25 per month to get everything. Basically, the way it works is you pay $25 and you get to have access to everything. All classes, the workshop, all resources, everything up to you for just $25 per month. And you got to remember, for some of our students, this was even more practical than going to university. Here we have Jennifer. She says, I got more of this than I did in a full semester class in university, and I didn't have to take a loan to do it. The videos are amazing and in-depth, and the structure of the class is perfectly paced to take you through the process of painting without overwhelming you. And thank you for this, Jennifer. We were really happy to actually hear that from you. It made a huge difference to us. In 1 month, is a very good start. You're going to learn a ton of stuff, but to really start seeing incredible results, you need to commit a little bit more than that, especially if you want to make a career out of it at some point. And that's what we want to support today. So if you actually take a year with us, what we're going to do is we're going to give you 4 months for free. So instead of paying $25 per month each month, we'll give you 4 months for free. For basically, it's going to give you just one payment of $197 to get everything. So you get all the new tutorials, resources, the 12 live workshop, one each month, and 12 months of guided learning with me. Everything you need to learn digital painting into 12 months, or even maybe less. So when you think about it, when you have the big picture, it's for the price of one coffee a week. Can you spare one coffee a week to master digital painting? One coffee a week, you could actually learn digital painting, basically. It's pretty awesome. And to help you reach your goal faster, if you sign up now, I'm going to also give you, well, the download of this training, obviously, is a 60-minute video with everything that I showed you, even the glitch, and that's a bonus for you guys. You also get the 5 simple game plan, and that's a really good tool. It's to get a crystal clear idea how to reach your destination. So if you want to be a concept artist or character designer, illustrator, or artist, or anything that you want to be, this book is going to give you steps to make sure to be able to reach them faster. So that's a value of $25. I'm going to give it to you for free. Our 8-week speed building program, which we're really proud. We finished it about a month ago, I think. And it's every week. For 8 weeks, you receive one downloadable exercise to boost your practice. And that's going to make sure that for those people that struggle to actually go fast with a tablet, that's going to help you a lot. So we'll get also, and that's a very cool one, you'll also get lifetime access to the private mastermind community. What that means is if you take a year with us and then you learn everything, you get good, and after a year you feel like you're able to just go by yourself and continue learning, well, that's great. But we want to keep you in the community, so we'll still give you access to the community so you can share your work and get feedback from others. So you get all that, the 12 months of learning, a value of $300, but just for $197, and the bonuses, the recording, the simple game plan, the speed building exercise, the lifetime access to the community, and that's a value of $8,341. But that's all you need. I want to give you more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a fast action bonus, guys. If you sign up before the end of the Q&A, which we'll have right after this presentation, you'll also get, and this one is huge. It's very huge. We don't give it really often. But if you sign up with us before the end of the Q&A, we'll also give you access to the live workshops for life. Basically, once again, if you take a whole year with us and you learn and you're happy with your result and you decide to continue by yourself, well, you'll be still able to actually give us your work so I can actually give you advices on it live during the live workshop. And that's every month, and you'll have access to that for a lifetime. So that's a really cool bonus. So I'm going to add that to it, and you're going to have the 12 months of learning for $197, the recording, the sample game plan, the speed building exercise, the lifetime access to the community, and the live access to the workshop, which is a total of $2,338. And let me ask you, would that price would be worth it to learn digital painting so you can actually start a career out of it? Yeah, we're not going to ask you for $2,338, guys. The only thing we want is the $197. We want to make sure that you're part of this. We want to make sure that it's affordable for everybody. We're going to give you all the bonuses, and just as long as you take a year with us so we can teach you and have you in the community, we'll be super happy. And the cool thing about all this is this. We give you 60 days to actually try it. So you don't have any trouble. You can take it today, take a year with us, try it for 60 days, and after 60 days, if you don't think that this is worth it, we'll give you your money without asking any question, because we really believe that our product is going to be made for you. It's made for people that really want to learn and learn fast, and I'm pretty sure you're going to love it. But you know what? Do it yourself. Take the 60 days, try it, and we'll talk to you after. So what you want to do now is just click on the Yes, Let Me In, which is going to bring you into the Academy. And then it's going to bring you to this page where you have the chance to choose between the 25 per month or the 197 with all the bonuses. And then just put your name, put your username, put your email, and then choose the way you want to put your payment, and that's it. You'll be with us. You'll be in the Academy, and I'll be super excited to see you. It all starts with taking action, guys. This is really important. So here's just a little recap for you. For $197 only, you're going to get 12 months of trainings, AG tutorial, active learning exercise, premium resources, all the bonuses, the ultimate formula training, the sample game plan, the speed building program, the lifetime supportive community, and the lifetime monthly workshop, which is absolutely huge, and all that with a 60 days guarantee. So you can take your time, try it, and we'll give you your money back if you're really not super happy. So just click on the Let Me In. I hope you're ready to master digital painting with us, guys. I'm really excited about this. We're going to take your question now. I'm going to switch back the camera to my face. And if you have any question, I'll answer them.
All right, I'll quickly jump in and let you take a sip of water.
Thank you.
So yeah, yeah, I hope that all made sense. We're really, really excited about this. We launched this just over like 4 or 5 months ago now, after doing our free tutorials for like a year. So it's been really exciting, and we've seen some incredible progress with our students. So yeah, if you have any questions, again about some people were asking about the worksheet and the PDF. We'll be emailing all that out afterwards. So if you don't get that, just send us an email. Same if you have any other questions after this, you can shoot us an email anytime at hello@paintable.cc, and we'll be very happy to talk to you there.
Yeah.
So yeah, if anyone has any questions, just feel free to pop them in the chat. So first one I see is from Russell, who's asking if there's any programs other than Photoshop for digital painting.
Absolutely. There's a ton of them. And obviously, I use Photoshop to give my classes. But most of the material that I'm actually teaching is you don't need Photoshop itself. You just need an application. Basically, all the application to paint will give you the same kind of results. And what I'm teaching you is the foundation. It's the base. So to make sure that you can use any application and get the same results. Of course, there's some exceptions. Photoshop itself has some tricks, some plugins, some effects that are specific to Photoshop, and I teach them as well. But the core, what you really need to learn to actually learn digital painting, it can be learned on any kind of application. That is really up to you.
Andres is asking if he takes the 1 month, do you have to contact us after a month to cancel? Absolutely not. So you can manage your subscription within the Academy, and you can pause it, cancel at any time in just a few clicks. So it's, we're not trying to rope you into anything. Just stay as long as you find it valuable. We want to keep you, we want this to be a fair exchange, even more value out of this. So we're not trying to, rope you in there.
No.
So Julio is asking whether the reference exercise works with other artists also, with the works of other artists. So I guess using their artwork rather than like photos.
Well, obviously using any kind of references. If you don't know your style yet and you really like a style from an artist, it's always important to study them and to get to know what you like. I know when I discovered my own style, I had all sorts of artists that I really wanted to actually learn some stuff of them, and that's how I created my own style. So yes, it's a good thing. I would try to not copy exactly and try to just modify, get what you like, and then add it to your own sauce and discover your own style. I mean, it's a journey, digital painting, right? Art is a journey. You just want to learn, you just want to create and do as possible and get flavor of what you're doing. So just use it that way as well. The exercise would do to learn all sorts of things. So some sort of anatomy if you want to as well. So just take anything. It's to just focus on repeating it and using your memory to memorize it.
This is asking whether we need Photoshop within the Academy or in general.
No, we don't
talking
need.
over each other.
Sorry, you've been yeah, you I think
hardcore lag.
So you were asking if you need Photoshop to be in the Academy, right? No,
yes,
you don't need Photoshop to be in the Academy. You're saying any kind of application. What I teach is with Photoshop. There's some specific tricks that are from Photoshop, but most of the material that I'm teaching, you can actually use any kind of application else.
Yeah, it's very much like about the concepts rather than specific things. So there are some things that are specifically about tools, And I mean, we do recommend Photoshop. It is one of the, it's the industry standard. You're going to find the most help for it. But the majority of it is about the concepts, things like lighting, rendering, form, coloring, adding
Exactly.
texture, painting specific things. So you can follow along, and we have many students following along in, Krita, Procreate,
Yeah.
Pearl Painter. So don't let that be, hold you back, I guess, with Vernus is asking whether the class.
You totally had a glitch there. I didn't hear anything.
It's been awful today.
Yeah.
Sorry, if anyone's wondering why I keep grabbing my ear, it's because I lost the little clip thing the little rubber thing on my earphone. Vernus was asking whether the Academy is fully online.
Yeah, it is fully online. Absolutely. The workshop are fully online as well. Although they're live, all the tutorial, they're all videos, basically. But one times a month, you can actually submit your work, and I will do paints over on them and give you feedback on the specific of your own work.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a combination. You don't have to actually physically combination of being entirely online. But most of it is you can watch 24/7, and the rest is then we actually also have the live on top of that, which you can watch the replays of too. So Kevin's asking, sorry if I'm being repetitive, but do we have to pay the $197 for the whole 12-month program? Did you want
to? You go ahead.
So it's not so much like a program. It's a membership. So we have within the membership, there's a course that will take you from A to Z, basically, teach you all the foundations, the fundamentals. And then after that, we have our library of tutorials, which we're constantly adding to every month. So every month you're getting new tutorials, you're getting new workshops. And so basically you'll build the foundations first, and then every month you'll get stuff to learn to get more and more advanced with it. So you don't have to join anyone at a monthly rate, which is the $25 per month. We like to encourage people to commit to it, which is why we charge just $200 rather than $300 for the annual.
Yeah, because it takes really a year to get the result that you want in terms of like trying to be making money out of it. Obviously, you're going to learn a ton of stuff into a month, but if you want to start a career out of it and starting to make money, have your own business, or even work for a studio or something like that, you'll need to have a lot more time to actually get yourself the real good structure. And I think that a year is actually a good pace for learning. So that's why we push it, as we give 4 months for free. It's really worth it. And that being said, you have 60 days to try it. So basically, you can take the whole year, and in 60 days, if you decide that this is not for you, you can take a 25 a month from there.
Yeah, exactly. We want to make this as comfortable and risk-free for you as possible. Again, we want this to be a very mutual exchange, and we want you to get even more out of this. So yeah. So Bert's asking how we get the PDF of the 7 steps. You've been marked in our newsletter list, and we'll email that out to you afterwards. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
Ira was asking, what are the rules of layers during painting? How does it work? I think we have a few blog posts on that.
Sorry. How what?
How layers work in digital painting.
What was the question? Oh yeah, we have a blog post on it, paintable.cc. And if you do a research for layers, you'll see that there's a blog post on it. Obviously, it would be just too wordy for me to explain to you online right now, but there is a blog post on it, and I have really in detail structure classes into the academy that talks about it.
So Andres is asking or saying, I'm a tattooist, and I guess this method fits me really well. Do I need specific configurations of my brushes, special brushes, or can I translate this method to any other technique, just painting, drawing, pro markers?
You don't need specific brushes. Brushes, there's so many. You can go from hairbrush to watercolor to like very graphic ones. It's all about what you like to work with. I guess as a tattoo artist, to do the shadings, you'll need just the basic brushes that Photoshop gives actually. But you'll be able to find so many online for free and premium depending on what you look for. So really the brushes is just, it takes a bit of time. You need to put yourself into it, roll with it, try them, have fun with it. That's how you're going to find the set of brushes that you like to do. So yeah, and also I think we have also a blog post on the paintable.com if you want to know a little bit more about brushes.
Yeah, that's right. Femke is asking about the destinations and the goal setting. How do you know how many weeks you need to give yourself to get to know it all properly?
Yeah, like I said, this is a work in progress, right? You need to get to know yourself. Obviously, if it's the first time you do it, it's going to take a certain time to roll with it. So at first, you may guess wrong. And that's okay. Like I was saying, exact science, you're not supposed to know those things until you practice. What I would say is, depending on the size of your goal, give yourself between 1 or 2 months. All right, put yourself into it, and then if you see it in a month, you're able to reach it. Then you'll know. If it takes a little bit more time, then you'll know again. Obviously, don't make your the goals can be large enough, like learning anatomy as an example, but your stop goals need to be really small. All right, so it needs to be by size. So you know that maybe for learning a facial anatomy, maybe 2 months, but then you have to be like really precise on learning. All right, I just want to learn the nose for this week, or just the eyes for this week, or just the structure of the whole skull for this week, and give yourself small assignment like that. It's going to be easier for you to reach your goal. And with that, after 1 or 2, you'll know the time that it takes you to actually learn, and you'll be able to guess the timeline faster.
Oops, my phone was off. I hope you guys can hear us properly, by the way. I'm getting a ton of lag.
Yeah, we have some lag. I'm sorry.
Again, if you have questions, feel free to email us at hello@paintable.cc afterwards. So Guy or Guy, and the mandatory disclaimer, very sorry if we pronounce your names wrong, is asking, if I join now for $25, will I be able to rejoin for $197 when I can afford it? So yeah, you can change your subscription. You can upgrade to it if you. Yeah, I think you can even do it through your subscription page. If not, email me and I'll be happy to help you out with that. So, just having a scroll through the chat. Can you see the chat, by the way, David?
Yeah, I do.
Kaidi is asking whether Paintable.cc is our official Instagram page. It is. So we're on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter. We've got it all, guys. So whatever floats your boat, whatever toots your horn, we'll be there. Okay, so Adam's asking whether he can ask us a couple more questions about Paintable. Again, just email us I'll pop it in the chat too. hello@paintable.cc.
Yeah.
And we can get back to you. Okay, Sarah is asking whether you first paint in black and white and then put colors on it, saying I wanted to start with colors from the beginning, and maybe that's why it was so difficult and complicated.
What I teach in the academy is to start with the black and white. It helps you visualize the values, which is a great help at the beginning, because values work with color as much as black and white, but in black and white. Also, the colors modify a little bit the values depending sometimes on the warm or cold. Basically, what I teach first is black and white and then adding color. Once you know how to do that, then you can give yourself a color. Basically, it's two different techniques, and I prefer to teach the value first, as it's just more rewarding. You'll see improvement right away. You'll see how it is. It's really fun, and you can start with what I would call a more traditional way, which is starting with the colors from the start. But this is digital painting, guys. So let's use the tools that we have. Let's use the layers. Let's use everything we have, and being able to start from black and white, transform into color, is a great gift that digital painting can give us. So it's really worth it to actually take it. microphone.
Yep, talking to myself again. So if you have any more questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. We're going to try to wrap this up in not too long, let you get on with your Sundays. Any last questions, just pop them in, and we'll answer them. So Guy is asking, so I'll sign up today, and then in a few months, I'll assure you I'll do the annual. I really want to get better. Yeah, sure. Like we completely understand if the annual is slightly out of your budget at the moment. So yeah, we're happy to help. So just shoot us a message, and
yeah.
So for people still asking about the PDFs, we're going to be emailing those out afterwards. If you haven't been seeing our emails, by the way, have a look in if you're using Gmail under promotions tab, they sometimes get filtered out there. So we've actually been sending out a few digital painting lessons in the last couple of days already also, and we're going to be sending out some more there. So make sure you're getting those. Fabio's asking, I'm starting to do my portfolio to concept art. Do you think should do only character design projects and so on?
For concept art, I mean, concept art can be broad as well. You could do just character design if it's what you like, but you could do also environmental design if it's what you like. Concept art is all about, it's a concept, right? So it can be used for movies, it can be used for video games. Basically, you have to ask yourself first, what do you really like? And then just go forward with that, because whatever you like, you're gonna grow faster in it. You're gonna learn faster to it. So if you're really into character design, then yes, build yourself a character design portfolio, and you'll find a job as a character designer. And if you like this, if you like both, do both. But I will suggest this. I'm reading a book actually about it these days. It's called The One Thing. It's been proven that you have better results, stronger results when you focus on only one thing at a time. So if you really want to do a good portfolio, a strong portfolio, I would suggest for you to find one thing first. Once you'll have mastered character design, there's no reason for you to not just after that learn environmental. Time is just going to take you twice as much time. So try to learn one at a time. Try to specific one if you want to do character design or environmental design. Go into it, and from there, take it from there. You'll have a good portfolio in no time.
So while we wait maybe for a last 2 or 3 questions to come in, I thought I'd quickly jump on screen share for anyone wondering exactly what's in the Academy, because it's kind of hard to go through everything in one go. So just to give you an idea of everything that's in there. So if you give me 1 second, and maybe David, you can entertain the crowd.
Yes, I can try to entertain. So that's a good shot. We'll be able to show you what's in it. There's classes coming, also this one that I'm really proud of. I just finished one on jewelry, and that's a hint for you guys, because nobody else but the Academy members know it. But we're gonna send one in the Academy in the days to come. It's a really nice one that I teach how to do golden jewelry. So it's already showing in the Academy right now, I think, as a coming soon, and it should come on, did we say Saturday, I think, or something like that. Now I just see myself, and now, all right, now I see your screen, Fabio.
Everyone here and see me. Sorry to interrupt you there.
That's okay.
Automatically count in. Wasn't trying to be rude. So this is the this is the Digital Painting Academy. Once you're a member, once you're in, you can see we have several different sections. Everything's broken down into. So this is the foundations I was telling you guys about earlier. So this is the 6-part course that literally starts at the very beginning. It shows you the tools you need to get started. Brush tool, pen tool, all the basic ways of making marks, has some exercises that you can download for improving. If you struggle making lines with a tablet, if you struggle getting straight lines, some exercises in there, working with references, how to pick good ones, what things to look out for, references versus imagination, measurements, sketching, working with lighting and values, rendering, and color. And you can see each of these is then broken down. So these are like the modules. And the modules are broken down into various exercises. So everything's cut up into like bite-sized pieces. So you don't have to commit to like an hour of video. You can, if you have like 20 minutes, you can sit down and do a few exercises. And everything with exercise means it has a downloadable PSD as well as like JPEGs for people that don't have Photoshop. So this is like the exercises that David showed you earlier. This is like that on steroids because it's like very specific things you're learning with all of them. So then once you finish
keyboard doesn't switch.
Sorry?
And my keyboard doesn't switch in the middle
that's the
of
other thing, exactly. Yeah, it's not live, so you won't have those glitches. So then after the foundations, you can head over to the tutorials, and this is where we're releasing stuff every month. So things like in-depth tutorials on painting hair, painting details, portrait details, coming out in just a few days, actually, how to paint gold jewelry, brushes, how to make your own, what exactly all those settings do. So I'm sure I'm not overwhelmed by all of the settings in the brush panels. So that actually walks you through everything. We have tutorials from other artists also, and we're adding more and more of these in the coming weeks and months. So we have one from Charlie Bowater, who's an amazing artist. Perspective, texture brushes, anatomy. So that's already like many hours and hours, tons and tons of exercises in there. So again, as an annual student, you get access you'll get not just everything that's already in it, but everything that's still coming to it too. Then we also have, and we're building this out at the moment now too, our quick ones. If you're feeling stuck or unmotivated, or you just don't have much time, we put these together that are like small wins that you can do in 10 minutes or less. So you can just hop in there and like follow along with one of these, and they're designed to just build up a bit of motivation, so you can like learn something, build up the motivation to want to then keep going with something else. So that's the basic idea behind those. The workshops, which again, if you sign up today, you'll get lifetime access to. And this is every month we have the live critiques. So you get questions to them. You can submit your artwork, and Dave will go through that and give you critiques on everything. You can also watch all the recordings from before. And yeah, finally, the resources where we have, so this, for example, this is the coolers wheel that we told you guys about earlier. We actually managed to get an exclusive discount for them. I'm pretty sure this isn't available anywhere else. Just for our Academy members, you can get 40% off that if you sign up through here, as well as various tools. Sometimes we have blog posts with tutorials where, as an Academy member, you can get like the bonus package with it, the PSDs, brushes, so you can follow along yourself, cheat sheets, process videos, so all sorts of good stuff to help you out there. So I hope that makes sense. If you still have questions about that, again, very happy to help out with that. So I'm going to go back onto the infinite loop here and turn it. So can you hear me, David?
Yes.
All right, cool. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Did any questions come in while I was doing that?
Yeah, I guess so. But I don't think.
I'll add to the chat.
Sorry.
So Marianne is again, sorry about the pronunciation. It's asking if people with any art level, so I guess any like skill level, can learn from us.
Absolutely. I would say though that the majority of what we have is from beginner to intermediate. Obviously, if you're an expert, we don't really have stuff for you. But if you're anything between the beginner to intermediate, you want to up your game, or you want to learn from scratch, we have something for you. Absolutely.
So people complaining about the lag, very sorry about that. Hopefully, if there's anything that that you couldn't actually hear, maybe in the recording afterwards, you might be able to see that again. Lisa was asking whether we cover ZBrush with Photoshop for concept art.
No, we don't. No.
So no, not at the moment. Again, we're looking to expand into more and more areas in the future. For now, we don't have that yet. So again, it's all Photoshop based, but as you saw, it's very much about like concepts rather than specific app stuff. So,
Yeah.
Adam's again asking about the free PDF. It'll be coming automatically in your emails, so make sure to look out for that.
All right. For what I see, the lag is not getting better. So maybe we should try to answer the last question. And if you guys have any other question, just send us an email. It's going to be, I think, much easier like that. You can send us an email to hello@paintable, and we'll answer it then.
Yes. That's a hello with an H in case David's H got lost. Okay, so asking whether you can send us some of your work with questions. As an Academy student, absolutely. Like I said, like I showed you, the workshops, we have a form actually where you can submit that super easily. You can post it in the community also at any time, where not only us, but also all the many other excited or motivated students can. So that's for Academy members. Unfortunately, we get a ton of emails. We can't give feedback for non-Academy members. We used to, but all our days we're going on that. So that's for Academy members only at the moment. So hope you understand.
All right.
So, I'd say we wrap this up. Thanks so much for everyone that showed up and stuck with us through all the lag and the keyboards stopping and
the
everything.
glitch and everything.
The glitches. At least you know this is live, right? At least you know we didn't re-record this. We would have edited all of that out. So you got the raw, uncut us. So.
Yeah.
I hope you've learned a lot. I hope it's been inspirational, motivational. I hope it's showed you above all of that, this is something that everyone can do. It's just a matter of going through it and changing setting up the right habits, the right mindsets. That's equally, if not more important than the specific learning that you do. So,
well said.
Any wisdom from David?
I think that was plenty of wisdom, guys. Thank you so much for showing up. As usual, happy painting, and we'll be able to answer your question via emails from now on. So have a good Wednesday.
Wednesday. I said Sunday.
And,
wow.
Enjoy your day, guys.
4 days behind. All right. So, enjoy your day. Happy painting, and see you around.